Today we will discuss about meiosis. Meiosis is reduction division and it will occur in the sex cells. Means meiosis will occur during the maturation of gametes. What does it mean? Meiosis will occur during the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Right? Why meiosis should occur at that places? Because meiosis is reduction division and spermatogenesis and oogenesis needs reduction division. Why? Meiosis is biological need. Just take an example. At the time of fertilization, sperm unite with ovum. Usually sperm contains 23 chromosomes, ovum contains 23 chromosomes. When they unite, resulting zygote will have 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes are human specific. Take another example that if there is no reduction division, that means if there is no meiosis, sperm will have 46 chromosomes and ovum will have 46 chromosomes. If both are united, resulting zygote will have 92 chromosomes. Is it human specific? No. Human specific is each cell should have 46 chromosomes. Right? I think now we understood why we need reduction division. Clear? So, when we are discussing about meiosis, we have to discuss cell cycle. Usually, when we are discussing about mitosis also, we have discussed about cell cycle. Here also, there is cell cycle. Right? This is interphase and this is M phase. Right? So this is interphase and this is M phase. Interphase will be dividing into how many phases? Usually, that means we have discussed in last class 3 phases. What are those? G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. But when we are discussing about meiosis, there will be one phase will be missing. That phase is G2 phase. So here there is no G2 phase, only G1 phase and S phase. G2 phase will be missing when we are explaining about meiosis. Right? Of course, this is M phase again. Right? You know what are the changes will occur in the G1 phase. If you take the cell, size of the cell will be increased. Right? And enzymes, proteins and all the materials which are necessary for the synthesis of DNA and division of cell, those materials will be accumulated within the cell. So, size of the cell will be increased. That is first step. And accumulation of materials which are necessary for the cell division. That means what? Materials which are necessary for the synthesis of DNA and materials which are necessary for the division of cell, those materials will be accumulated within the cell. Right? That's it about G1 phase. Then S phase. This also you know that synthesis of DNA. Because of synthesis of DNA, usually chromosome structure is like this before synthesis of DNA. But after synthesis of DNA, chromosomal structure will becomes like this. Of course, when it condensed, then only we can observe structures like this. Otherwise, just we can see like threads. Right? Then you may ask question that if there is 2 DNA, here number of chromosomes should increase. No. Usually, number of chromosomes are not depending upon number of DNA. It's not depending on number of DNA. Number of chromosomes is depending on number of centromeres. Number of centromeres. Right? Okay. So, after synthesis of DNA, I am not going in detail because last class I have explained. Synthesis of DNA will happen. Then, after synthesis of DNA, the cell will enter into M phase. Then, we will see what are the different changes will occur in the M phase. Right? See, meiosis will be dividing into 2 phases actually. Meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Right? Meiosis 1 also having 4 subphases. Meiosis 2 also having 4 subphases. What are those? Prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1 in meiosis 1, and prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2 in meiosis 2. Right? Now we will see meiosis 1. Meiosis 1 we will see now. This is M1. If we take M1, M1 will have prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Right? But prophase contains again subdivisions. Prophase contains again some subdivisions. What are those subdivisions? First one is leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, then diplotene, diakinesis. These are the subdivisions in the prophase 1. These are subphases. Of course, what are the different changes will occur in the different phases, I will explain you. But first you remember all these subphases one by one. Leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene and diakinesis. And how will you remember these steps in order? Lady zoology professors, drunk and drive. Lady zoology professors, drunk and drive. You remember like that. Leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, diakinesis. Right? Now we will see what will happen in different phases of prophase 1. Right? Now I am taking prophase 1 here. Prophase 1. In prophase 1, we have already seen that in prophase 1 there will be different subphases are there. That subphase, first phase is leptotene. In mitosis there will be G2 phase, but in meiosis there is no G2 phase. That G2 phase will be replaced by prophase 1, right? Actually, what are the changes which occur in the G2 phase that will happen in the prophase 1? That's what there is no G2 phase here. Okay. Now we will see what will happen in the leptotene. Actually, literal meaning of leptotene is thin threads. This is Greek word. The literal meaning of leptotene is thin threads. So I am taking cell over here. This is cell. Cell contains nucleus. I am drawing little bigger nucleus to explain structures which are present within the nucleus. What are the structures which are present here? Chromosomes are present. So I have to draw chromosomes over here. That's what I am drawing little larger nucleus. I never mean that this cell having very big nucleus. Right? Okay. So in leptotene phase, there will be appearance of thin threads. What are these thin threads? These thin threads are nothing but chromosomes, right? Appearance of thin threads. These thin threads are chromosomes. These chromosomes are arranged within the synaptonemal complex. There will be one proteinous complex will be there. This proteinous complex, what we call synaptonemal proteinous complex. Synaptonemal proteinous complex. That means all these chromosomes will be arranged in some proteinous complex. That proteinous complex, what we call synaptonemal protein complex. Next, what changes will occur here? There will be condensation of chromosomes. Initiation of condensation of chromosomes. Right? After condensation, how chromosomes will appear? We know that. That I will draw in the next diagram. Right? So, these are the changes will occur in the, which phase is this? Yes. Leptotene phase. Leptotene phase. Right? Then, after leptotene phase, we will go for next phase. What is that phase? Zygotene phase. Zygotene. Zygotene phase. In zygotene phase, we can see chromosome structure like this. This is one chromosome and this is another chromosome, and all these chromosomes will be arranged in the synaptonemal complex, synaptonemal protein complex. Okay, first appearance will be like this. Then what are the different changes will occur within the zygotene phase? In the zygotene phase. Right. So, in zygotene phase, homologous chromosomes search for one another and they will find one another and they will arrange side by side in point to point relationship. First, we should know what is homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosome is nothing but size of the chromosome, position of centromere and position of alleles are similar. Okay, let me explain that. Imagine this is maternal chromosome and this is paternal chromosome. Why I am calling these are maternal and paternal chromosomes, usually at the time of fertilization, 23 chromosomes will come from the father and remaining 23 chromosomes will come from the mother. That means 23 chromosomes will come from sperm, 23 chromosomes will come from ovum. Both will be united. At the time, chromosomal number 1 of sperm and chromosomal number 1 of ovum will be identical to each other. That means these two chromosomes are lengthwise, position of centromere wise and position of allele wise identical to each other. Right? So, let me explain that. Imagine here centromere is there. Position of centromere will be as it is exactly at the same location and length of the chromosome will be same. And if you observe alleles, that means position of genes also same. Let me explain that. Just imagine this is the gene which is present in the maternal chromosome and this gene represents the color of the individual. And if you observe in the same location there will be gene, this gene also represents the color of the individual. Right? And if you take another example, here one gene is there. This gene represents the height of the individual. Same gene will be present in the same location or same loci of chromosomes. Right? So, if there is chromosomes are like this, these chromosomes what we call homologous chromosomes. That means similar chromosomes. Homologous means similar chromosomes. So, this type of chromosomes, homologous chromosomes, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3 like that. But what about X chromosomes and Y chromosomes? Actually X and Y chromosomes are not homologous, but only small portion of homologous part will be there. With that small portion only, this X and Y chromosomes will arrange side by side in case of male. Okay, let me explain that. If you take X chromosome, it will be like this. And if you take Y chromosome, it will be bit shorter. This is X chromosome and this is Y chromosome. Usually these two chromosomes are not homologous to each other, but small portion which is present at the short arms of both X and Y chromosomes are identical to each other. Very small portion which is present at the short arms of both X and Y chromosomes are identical to each other. In this manner, these X and Y chromosomes will arrange side by side. Clear? So, what I am trying to say, in zygotine phase, homologous chromosomes search for each other and they will find each other and they will arrange side by side in point to point relationship. That phenomenon what we call synapse. That phenomenon what we call synapse. Okay, let me draw that structure. Actually, in zygotine phase, I should not draw structure like this because here synthesis of DNA has been taken place. Right? In each chromosome, there will be 2 DNA. That means in each chromosome there will be 2 chromatids are there. At that time, I should not draw structure like this. I have to draw structure like this. Maternal chromosome and this is paternal chromosome. right? So these two chromosomes are homologous now. Now this arrangement, what we call synapse, very simple. Homologous chromosomes search for each other and find each other and they arrange side by side in point to point relationship, what we call synapse. What is that? Synapse. Synapse, right? Then now how many chromosomes are present here? These two chromosomes are present here. Here two chromosomes are present. So this arrangement we can also call as bivalent. Bi means two. Two chromosomes are arranged. Bivalent. Bivalent. Right? Now how many chromatids are present here? Usually each chromosome having two chromatids. This is one and this is one. This chromatid and this chromatid are sister chromatids, and this chromatid and this chromatid are sister chromatids. But what about this chromatid and this chromatid? These two chromatids are non-sister chromatids because they are not belongs to same chromosome. These two chromatids are belongs to this chromosome. This chromatid and this chromatid belongs to this chromosome. But this chromatid and this chromatid are not belongs to same chromosome. That's what these are non-sister chromatids. Clear? So here how many chromatids are arranged at one place? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? This arrangement what we call tetrad formation. Tetra means 4. Tetrad formation. Tetrad formation. Right? So these are the changes will occur in the zygotine phase. Very simple. Homologous chromosomes will search for each other, find and arrange side by side. That phenomenon what we call synapse, and two chromosomes are present at one place, that is bivalent, and four chromatids are present at one place, that is tetrad. Right? Okay. Then there will be next phase. What is that phase? We have already seen. What is that? Pachytene. Pachytene. We will see what will happen in the pachytene phase. Here cell contains nucleus, right, and this cell will have chromosomes like this. This is maternal chromosome and this is paternal chromosome over here. Right? And what is this phase called? Pachytene. Pachytene. Now we will see what are the different changes will occur in the pachytene. And we should not forget that these chromosomes are arranged in the synaptonemal protein complex. Synaptonemal protein complex. Right? Now we will see what are the different changes will occur in the pachytene. In pachytene, here these two are the non-sister chromatids. These non-sister chromatids fall over one another. That means they just imagine this is one non-sister chromatid and this is another non-sister chromatid. This will fall over another. That means now it looks like X. This phenomenon what we call chiasma. Actually, chi means what? CHI. Chi means what? X. So there will be X-shaped arrangement. This phenomenon what we call chiasmata. 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 Right? Then I will explain over here how chiasmata will form. Very simple. right? See here, this chromatid, what is this? This is non-sister chromatid. It is falling over the another non-sister chromatid. After formation of chiasma, actually this arrangement what we are calling, this phenomenon what we are calling, chiasmata. After formation of chiasmata, what will happen? There will be releasing of one enzyme called endonuclease. What is this? Endonuclease. Endonuclease. This enzyme will help to break this chromosome. That means this portion of chromosome will breaks up to here, and this portion of chromosome will breaks over here, and this portion of non-sister chromatid will detach from here and attach it to this non-sister chromatid, and this portion of non-sister chromatids will detach and attach it to this non-sister chromatid, right? That phenomenon what we call crossing over, right? Very simple. This portion of non-sister chromatid detached by endonuclease and attached to this non-sister chromatid by one enzyme called ligase. What is that? Ligase. And of course, this portion will be detached and attached to this chromatid. That is also influenced by ligase. Now, this phenomenon what we call crossing over. Crossing over. Let me draw that. See now. See what is happening here. This is paternal portion of chromosome, right? It has been detached from here and attached to the maternal, and this is maternal chromosome portion. This is maternal chromosome portion. This maternal chromosome portion has been detached from here and attached to the paternal chromosome, right? That means what is happening here? There is reshuffling of genetic material. Reshuffling of genetic material. That means continuous reshuffling of genetic material from one homologous chromosome to another homologous chromosome, right? This phenomenon what we call crossing over. Crossing over. And what is the use of this? This crossing over or continuous reshuffling or continuous redistribution of these genes provides or gives some advantageous combinations and new combinations. Because of this only evolution has been taken place, and because of this only, if you observe two individuals from the same parent, they are not similar to each other unless until if there is twins, that too monozygotic twins. In case of monozygotic twins only, both individuals from same parent are similar, because this is the reason. Continuous reshuffling of genes will happen in crossing over. That too in which phase? Paggetin phase. So that is about crossing over. Clear? And one more thing you have to remember, that here chiasmata formed and reshuffling of genetic material, but there is no removal of chiasmata. Chiasmata still it is there. Chiasmata will be released at the anaphase of meiosis 1. Till that time chiasmata will be persist. Clear? Okay. So after crossing over in Paggetin, how the structure will be? Structure will be like this. So I will draw over there. Right? So this is crossing over. It will occur in the packeting stage or packeting phase. Right? Then what will happen in the next phase we will see now. See, what is the next phase? Diplotin. Diplotin. Fourth phase is diplotin. Diplotin. In diplotin phase, there will be degradation of synaptonemal protein complex. Degradation of synaptonemal protein complex. So, because of this degradation of synaptonemal protein complex, we can observe this chiasmata and crossing over very clearly. Because of that, in some textbooks, this crossing over will explain in diplotin phase. Why? If chromosomes are in synaptonemal protein complex, all these changes we cannot see properly. That's what once the removal of synaptonemal protein complex, we can clearly see the chiasmata and crossing over. Right? So what will happen in the diplotin phase? There will be degradation or removal of synaptonemal protein complex. Once there is removal of synaptonemal protein complex, these chromosomes will appear very clearly. Right? Actually, chiasmata and crossing over will happen or will occur in the packeting stage itself, but we cannot distinguish properly. That we can see or we can distinguish very easily in diplotin phase. Right? Why? In diplotin phase there will be degradation of synaptonemal protein complex. Right? So that is about diplotin. Then we will see last phase. What is that phase? Diakinesis. Diakinesis. In diakinesis, what are the changes will occur? You know about prophase of mitosis. In prophase of mitosis, what are the changes will occur? Disappearance of nuclear envelope, disappearance of nucleolus, and formation of what? Formation of aster. Formation of aster. Those changes will occur in the diakinesis. Diakinesis. In diakinesis, disappearance of nuclear envelope and nucleolus will be there, no? So this nucleolus will be disappeared and migration of centrosomes, and these centrosomes will organize to produce microtubules, so that microtubules will be formed, right, and these microtubules will attach it to the chromosomes. Of course, you know different types of microtubules are there. Kinetochore microtubules attach it to the kinetochore of chromosome, and polar microtubules, they search for one another, or they search for opposite polar microtubule, and they push against each other, so that elongation of cell will happen, right? And there will be another type of microtubules which gives support to the aster. These microtubules, what we call aster microtubules, right? So in the diakinesis, disappearance of nuclear envelope, disappearance of nucleolus, and formation of aster, right? See, this is totally about prophase 1. Prophase 1, right? Now we will see what are the different changes will occur in the metaphase 1. Let me remove this. So this is totally prophase 1. So this is prophase 1. Now metaphase 1. In metaphase 1, I am taking this structure over here, and I will show you how it will be arranged. Actually, because of polar microtubules, cell will be elongated, right? So I am drawing elongated cell. Right? And appearance of chromosomes. See here, this is reshuffled part I am drawing. And here also. See, you can observe one more thing over here. See, this is maternal chromosome, this is paternal chromosome, this is paternal chromosome, and this is maternal chromosome. What is happening here? All paternal chromosomes are not arranging at one line. All paternal chromosomes are not aligning at one plane. Here also there is redistribution of chromosomes. That means, see here maternal, paternal, maternal. If you draw below, there will be again paternal. That means there is random arrangement of chromosomes in equator plane of cell. So here centrosome and kinetochore microtubules from this aster attached to the kinetochore of chromosome, right? And of course you can found polar microtubules and you can found aster microtubules, right? In this metaphase 1, what happened? All chromosomes arranged in the equator plane. All chromosomes arranged in the equator plane or metaphase plate. After completion of metaphase, we have to discuss about anaphase 1. Actually, this is metaphase 1. Metaphase 1. Right? Now we will discuss about anaphase 1. In anaphase 1, what will happen? Contraction of this kinetochore microtubules. Contraction of kinetochore microtubules. Because of contraction of kinetochore microtubules, releasing of chiasmata. Chiasmata will be present, no? This chiasmata will be released. So that half of the chromosomes, that means 23 chromosomes will go to one pole, remaining 23 will go to another pole. Are you getting my point? In the next phase, that is in anaphase, because of contraction of this kinetochore microtubules, this chiasmata is there, no? This chiasmata will be released. So that half of the chromosomes, this half will come to this pole and remaining half they go to another pole. Right? So here there is no splitting of centromere. That's what here is the reduction division. Anaphase 1 we have to remember mainly, here only reduction division is happening. Okay, let me draw that. In anaphase 1, because of contraction of microtubules, kinetochore microtubules, this half of the chromosomes will come to one pole by contraction of kinetochore microtubules, this portion is reshuffled portion, crossing over. So here you can find polar microtubules and these are aster microtubules. See here, what happened? Chiasmata released because of contraction in anaphase 1. So because of that, half of the chromosomes they reach to one pole, remaining half they went to another pole. Right? So in this phase, what was happened? because of contraction of microtubules, chiasmata are released and pulling of half of the chromosomes to the one pole, remaining half to the another pole. Right? So this is about anaphase 1. Anaphase 1. Then what will happen? Another phase will start. What is that phase? Telophase 1. In telophase 1, there will be reappearance of nuclear envelope, destruction of this aster, reappearance of nucleolus and division of cell. That I will draw over here. This is the reshuffled portion. Right? So here destruction of, actually there is spindle will be there, no? This spindle will be destructed. Destruction of spindle and reappearance of nuclear envelope and reappearance of nucleolus, right, and division of cell, right. So this is which phase? Telophase 1, right. So at the end of the meiosis 1, two cells are formed with reduction number of chromosomes. How? See here. Here how many chromosomes are there? 46 chromosomes are there. But in this particular cell only 23 chromosomes are there. In this particular cell only 23 chromosomes are there. Right? Now these two cells, this cell and this cell, both will undergo meiosis 2. Of course, meiosis 2 is again equational division, not like this. Same as it is like mitosis, but only difference is number of chromosomes will be less in meiosis 2, number of chromosomes will be more. Actually, number of chromosomes will be 46 in mitosis, but here meiosis 2, number of chromosomes will be 23 only. Only that is difference. Remaining process is same. That's what I am going bit faster in meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 is same as it is mitosis. That's what I am going bit faster. Okay, this is totally about meiosis 1. Now I am taking these two cells here and I will try to explain meiosis 2. Actually meiosis 2 also having prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. I am taking these two cells here. Right, and chromosomes will be arranged like this. Then here reshuffled portion, right? The two cells I have taken here. Now we will see what will happen in these two cells. These two cells, they are undergoing meiosis 2. Of course there will be nuclear envelope, no? Disappearance of nuclear envelope in prophase 1 and disappearance of nucleolus. Actually some textbooks they will tell that without prophase 2, those cells after completion of meiosis 1, they will directly enter into metaphase 2. Okay, whatever. See, now these cells, they are entering into metaphase 2, but for that there should be formation of aster in prophase 1. How they will form? There will be migration of centrosomes and formation of aster. Right? Now how will they arrange in metaphase 2? That I will draw over here. See here, this is one cell and this is another cell. Spindle is here and chromosomal arrangement will be like this. This is a reshuffled portion I am drawing, and here also reshuffled portion, and kinetochore microtubules will be attaching to the kinetochore of this chromosome, and there will be polar microtubules and aster microtubules. Right? Of course, same arrangement we can draw over here. Same as it is, copy from here and paste over here. Kinetochore microtubule attaching to the kinetochore of chromosome, and aster microtubules, polar microtubules. Right? Now you see what is the difference between this one and this one. Metaphase 1 to metaphase 2. What is the difference? The metaphase plate has been rotated 90 degrees. Actually, this is metaphase plate in this angle. Now, if we see in the meiosis 2, metaphase plate has been rotated 90 degrees. Right? So, only that is the difference. Then, next phase is anaphase. Right? So, here also anaphase 2 will start. Actually, this is metaphase 2. Now, we will see the anaphase 2 over here. In anaphase 2, what will happen? It is same like mitosis. So, here splitting of cohesin which is present at the centromeres. Actually, these two sister chromatids are held together by cohesin. That cohesin will split longitudinally. Longitudinal means not like this. Longitudinal to the chromosomes. It splits longitudinal to the chromosomes, so that these two sister chromatids now they becomes daughter chromosomes. See here, there is contraction of these microtubules, which leads to splitting of cohesin, or we can simply say that longitudinal splitting of centromere. If the centromere splits longitudinally, these two sister chromatids becomes daughter chromosomes. That arrangement I will draw over here. So, next diagram, how it will be. Actually, this portion I don't have space over here. I am drawing over here. Clear? So now there is longitudinal splitting of centromere or cohesin. So here so because of contraction of microtubules, splits longitudinally. Which one? Centromere splits longitudinally, and half of the chromosome, that means half of the daughter chromosomes will pull to one pole, remaining half will go to another pole. So this is like this. Right? Then, of course, we have to draw polar microtubules also. And aster microtubules. Same thing you draw over here. I don't have space over there. Okay. So, after this, now what is this phase? Anaphase 2. In anaphase 2, splitting of centromere and two sister chromatids becomes daughter chromosomes. These daughter chromosomes pulled by kinetochore microtubules. From these daughter chromosomes, half of the chromosomes will be pulled towards the one pole, remaining half will pull to the another pole. Right? That is anaphase 2. What is the next phase or last phase? There will be destruction of spindle, and formation of nuclear envelope, formation of nucleolus, and division of cell by cytokinesis. Of course, same here also. So it will be dividing. Clear? So from one grandfather cell or grandmother cell, 4 granddaughter cells are formed with haploid number of chromosomes. That means 23 chromosomes. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is about meiosis. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next class. Today we will discuss about meiosis. Meiosis is reduction division and it will occur in the sex cells chromosomes. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is about meiosis. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next class.